What would you have to say to the victims of your financial fraud?
First thing I'd like to say to the victims, obviously, is I'm sorry. I know my decisions were severely reckless, and because they were reckless, they were criminally reckless. And I can stand here and I would look them in the eye and say, you know, I'm guilty, and I'm so sorry. In wanting to reach my family's goals and giving them their needs, I trampled yours, and I'm really, really sorry. I can't do anything now. It's a line I crossed. If I could go back, I wouldn't cross it.
Dr. Shaw, in your opinion, how would you classify Jack Johnson's personality? How would you describe it?
Mr. Johnson is he's an overachiever, frankly. At this stage, I've been seeing him for about 3 years. I would categorize him as clinically depressed due to this situation that he has brought upon himself and his family. But other than that, a normal functioning person.
You know, I go back to the family. I did it for family. I did it for the community. I did it for myself. Yeah, I wanted the pats on the back. The reasons were wrong, the intentions were good. The outcome's horrific.
From the outset, he has expressed his remorse and disbelief to me. He was frankly surprised himself that he brought this situation on his own head. He has acknowledged the crime to me. In fact, in some of our discussions, made it clear that he was under some sort of delusion that he would be able to even make restitution without anyone being aware that anything had happened. He thought of it as a victimless crime.
What kind of a man is your husband, Mrs. Johnson?
Jack is a wonderful man. He has always worked so hard to provide for me and for the children, especially our younger son, Chris. When he was diagnosed at the age of 3 with autism, Jack just put his heart and soul into making sure that Chris could one day be a contributing member of society.
Mr. Johnson has been a very strong advocate for our organization, and he has served as a volunteer, a fundraiser, an advocate, and a community partner for as long as I've known him. He's a very rare kind of soul in that he's not only willing to donate funds and encourage other people to donate funds, but he has also helped us by backing our fundraising activities, but it doesn't end there. He's a wonderful parent, and his son Chris has really benefited from the advocacy, the programming, and the treatment that he's gotten him involved in, but most importantly because his father is a present parent.
Jack's interaction with his family, in a word, is devoted. He's the most devoted father and husband that I've ever met. I actually sometimes feel intimidated being around him because of the way he interacts with his family. He's got a son who's in college now, a 19-year-old son. I know that's killing him inside because he really wants to be there, not only to pay for the college, but to see his son graduate. He's got a 13-year-old son that's autistic, and you know, it's just stuff that insurance doesn't cover. I don't know if that's why Jack got into the mess he's in now, but I know if there's such a thing as doing something wrong for a good reason, I feel like Jack is the guy that would have done something like that and then realizing he was in too deep and couldn't get out. But his interaction with his son is awe-inspiring. He takes care of his son. We went over just recently for his 50th birthday, and Jack tended to his son more than we tended to Jack, and that's just the way he is. He's a loving parent.
If I had to sum up what to say about Mr. Johnson to the judge, I would say please be lenient. Realize that this is a person who is doing so much good in the community, and he may have made mistakes, but he's serving so many just as one person, that I think that needs to have some weight, and a large amount of weight in the judge's decision. Respectfully, I would really hate to see the impact that could occur on his family, specifically his son. Would hate to see a change like this really bring about backsliding in his development. He's come so far.
Frankly, the sooner he can be released from prison and get back out into the community at large, I see him taking on a very public role in trying to prevent others from following in his own footsteps by speaking to clubs, by going to Rotary clubs, by speaking at breakfast meetings, by becoming an advocate for honesty and truthfulness.
Would you say that Mr. Johnson is a threat to the community in the future?
From my discussions with him, I would say he is absolutely nonviolent, and in my opinion, he would pose no threat to the community at all in the future.
Do you think your husband realizes how badly he hurt his clients?
Yes, I know he does. There have been nights when he sat with me and cried in my arms. Honestly, this is not something that he set out to do. He is so remorseful. He does understand what he's done. And if we could turn back the clock, things would be completely different.
I let myself believe it wasn't wrong because I was doing it for all the right reasons. Wrong is wrong. And in my years as an attorney, I know that that is half of the battle. If you can get the person to realize, to accept the fact that the wrong was wrong, blame has to be accepted, and that you have to have consequences for your actions. I'm willing to pay for those actions. I just hope the judge will make it as a minimal payback, to show me some leniency, to show me some mercy, to give me, to find a reason to give this man some hope